Hi, today we're going to be doing a video and it's going to be on this old building from the olden days.
Do you know what the name of it's called?
It's
called Sudley House. Sudley House is a historic house in the Aigburth area of Liverpool. The house was built in 1824 and sold to George Holt sometime in the 1880s, where it was greatly modified. George Holt had the property until his death, and George Holt was an avid collector of art, which you will see right throughout this property, with various paintings on each of the floors that spread periodically throughout the building. The house, along with its art collection, is described by Art UK as being the only British collection of its kind still in its original setting. Sudley House is now part of National Museums in Liverpool, and it was bought by George Holt in 1883. He decorated the ground floor rooms much as you see them today to display his art collection, which is the only British collection of its kind still in its original setting. Emma Holt, George's daughter, died in 1944 and left the house and its paintings to the people of Liverpool. Victorian toys and things that the children would use to occupy themselves during the 18 and early 1900s. As you can see, there are various things still left in the property to show us what the kids of those days would play. Here are some creepy dolls, which, if I do say so myself, are more terrifying than I would say used for toys. So this gives a demonstration of what it was like for Victorian children to play with their toys. And here is a selection of the clothes that upper class children would generally wear in Victorian Liverpool. As we can see here, this is a doll's house that was built sometime between 1850 and 1880, which I must say is pretty clever. And here we have a collection of more toys that children of the Victorian era will play with. We have a variety of things from Hornby train sets to cars made by Dunlop and Meccano, and there are feature fireplaces in most of the rooms. There's a much-loved teddy bear that was invented in 1903, as we can see here, by the German film Steiff. There's transport and miniature toys, trains, ships that were very popular in the 19th and 20th century for both children and adults, although these were more expensive and reserved for the elite class who can afford things. skylight and hanging chandelier is a real stunning feature of this beautiful property and lets in some natural light. This is the drawing room, and this was the Holt's best sitting room. The fireplace and paintings still remain in their original position, but everything else has changed. But this that we see here is how it was back in those days. Is the dining room, and the Holts used this room to entertain their very wealthy friends. Original features include the sideboard with George Holt's initials and wallpaper, which has never been repainted. The portraits within the dining room are by some of the finest painters of the 18th century. After her father died in 1896. From here she helped to run Liverpool University and an area of District Nursing Association and many other health charities. Everything in this room is as it was when she left the house to Liverpool. Used to be the main entrance, which is not used anymore. The main entrance to the house is situated at the rear. In this room that we go in now was George Holt's personal library, and it still has many of the original features, including bookcases, chimney piece and embossed wallpaper. Cabinet makers and upholsterers J. O'Neill of Church Street, Liverpool, were commissioned by George Holt in 1884 to make and install the library bookcases. They are also responsible for the striking chimney piece, with its marquetry inlay and carved columns, the hand-painted fireplace tiles depicting two female figures symbolising art and music. Himself. Wow, look at this thing. Porcelain with gilt metal mounts. You don't like the old light switches? Even look at the detail in the door handle.
I know it looks weird.
Get away. The fireplace in. This was the Holt's best sitting room, and the photo was taken in 1886, 2 years after the Holt's moved in. You can touch it. Look at the piano. Wow. No? Look at the, see the Sphinx? China is from 1662 from the Qing dynasty. Look at the fireplace. Discuss their business interests and charities. Wow. How cool is that? Huh? No, that's new. That wouldn't have been here when the house was built, though. Yeah, I think so. No? The grandfather clock. Wow, look at that. That's the gong. You hit and it goes dong. And the main entrance. What? You want to act like making a cup of tea? The pictures. The detail in the ceiling. Yeah. Do you need the toilet? No. I'm just looking. These pictures are from people who used to live in this house. Are you scared? Wow, look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Look at the wow. Very cool. Down here. It's locked. I think this would be a nice house to live in. Classic small home. Senses, so when you walk past them, you turn on and off.
It was owned by the shipping magnate George Holt. He had one daughter, Emma. She lived in the house till her death in 1944, where she left the house, the pictures, and the whole of the estate to the people of Liverpool. She never married Emma Holt, so when she died, she left the place to Liverpool. This was council run up until the 80s. It was run by Liverpool Council, but because there was fears that these pictures could go
Right,
missing or
yeah.
whatever, Margaret Thatcher found out about it. Then we became National Museums and Galleries on Merseyside.
So she actually saved it?
So she actually saved this house. So the National Museums Liverpool, along with the Albert Dock, Maritime, World Museum, Lady Lever Art Gallery. So this in fact now belongs to the people of Liverpool.
So cool.
So she made such a cast iron will that the house, the pictures can never be sold, but they can go out on loan all over the world, but they must return.
Yeah.
So the fact that people of Liverpool actually own the house.
Wow.
So when you do get the opportunities to go on the first floor is a Victorian, exhibition of oil paintings, all about Liverpool.
So was she an artist, was she?
No, she was just George Holt's daughter. He was a shipping magnate along with his brother Alfred, Blue Funnel Line, and she was a good friend of Eleanor Rathbone.
Yeah.
She went into national politics and then was local.
Is that Rathbone? Is that the lady who is named after Rathbone Hospital? Is named after?
The Rathbone there, the hospital, yeah.
Wow.
And Eleanor Rathbone, she was a politician.
Yeah.
And whatever. So they were good friends. But they were good philanthropists and entrepreneurs, and they gave money to like some women that going into nursing, midwifery. Up there, you got the exhibition of Victorian Liverpool in oils.
Wow.
And that's about it.
So what's in the how many bedrooms was it or anything before it was converted?
Mick will know more about the bedrooms because he was here before me. Mike, how many bedrooms was it? Do you know?
No, not a clue.
No.
No. They knocked all through in 1944.
Yeah.
They made it like a place for it was for the officers down the road there. There was a hospital that specialised in brain injuries.
That was before they'd done the one in Walton? And did they move it down?
I live in grounds there in Walton Hospital.
Do you?
Yeah.
Not the one in by Sainsbury's, that one?
That's it.
With the clock tower?
Rice Lane. Right?
Yeah, Rice Lane.
I live in the old nurses' quarter.
Do you? That is cool.
Yeah. See, my brother, he had a brain tumour and he died.
Sorry to
He was in
hear
the
that.
old Walton Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the women they had dot ward, and for the men they had cairns. Although the neurology and brain tumour thing, it's now in the...
Bolton Neuro, yeah.
I call it for Sudley.
Yeah.
But it's ancient University Hospital. That's all there, yeah.
Wow.
So the next time we come here for a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. So what was underneath the basement?
There were stores, coal rooms and whatever where the coal came in.
Yeah.
But now it's out of bounds to the public because it's got the electricity supply and central heating system.
Yeah.
But, you know,
So this
some
is
of the rooms were made bigger.
right.
Was
this done for when the house was opened up to the public? It was made bigger, that they knocked the walls through and stuff.
Prior to me, 20 odd years ago, prior to Mike, he's been here longer than me. I don't know when the rooms were converted. I haven't a clue.
44.
44.
Was it?
Yeah. During the war, the Wrens were here.
Was they?
Yeah, the Wrens. And before Alden Library was built in the 70s, he actually used here
Wow.
as the library. So if you go onto the World Museum site,
Yeah.
click on the link Sudley House, you get a more detailed of the whatever.
That's brilliant. So the all like the china and the different things.
That's all in storage and what have you.
So are these just replicas of it?
Most of the furniture, say, it's all in Liverpool museums.
Isn't?
Nice.
Oh, thank you very much for your
Pleasure,
time.
Georgia. Nice to meet you, Amy.
The ghosts.
There's not in there.
Look at that. The wind up thing. She had wind it up, I think, for the fire.
We do it.
Oh no, because I don't think it works now.
Still wind it up.
Try it.
What do we do?
You want to try? Wow, look at the... So the people who own this house, they made the ships.
They made it.
Yeah, so...
They made it.
Yeah, so this is a model of one that was actually used.
The Titanic.
Not the Titanic. It's called Verdi.
How long is it? How long is it? Longer than my arm.
Yeah. Well, that used to sail all around the world. What now? You can when I've finished.